Alright guys, welcome back. Brentford versus Manchester United review. And oh my god, what the hell was that yesterday? Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. It was another terrible showing from Man United away at Brentford. And honestly, it was just the scoreline. It wasn't just the scoreline, it was the performance. From front to back, what a mess. The system looks completely broken. It's the same team selections almost week after week, the same predictable approach, and the same mistakes repeated over and over again. There's no control in midfield, the defence is all over the place, the attack looked toothless, and when pressure came, of course, obviously, as it always is, United crumbled. Even when Šeško pulled one back, he got his first goal, there was never really any belief that United would turn it around. Bruno missed a penalty, it summed up perfectly. A team with no confidence, no leadership, no spark. And it's getting to a point where the game feels like a copy and paste job. Poor structure, no identity, the players going through the motions. The worrying thing is, if nothing changes, and it usually doesn't, United are going to keep serving up this display week after week after week. Anyway, here's my player reviews. Let's see if anyone done anything good. Now, Bayindir, he wasn't terrible for a change, but let's be fair, he was not good. He made a few saves, but he wasn't at fault for the first goal. That was Maguire. But when Man United are playing a high line and they are playing high, they're right on the halfway line, or at least they should be, and Maguire wasn't, but they should be. He can't be standing in the 6-yard box. He needs to be on the 18-yard line at the very fucking minimum. Maybe even outside of that. You need to think Manuel Neuer back in the day. Maybe not that bad. Maybe not. I mean, he was sometimes on the halfway line himself. But no, he needs to be 20 yards out. You cannot be standing in your 6-yard box. There can't be that big of a gap just to play the ball over the top or through a defensive line. It just can't be that way. He didn't dominate his box as usual. He wasn't calm and composed. I mean, and Brentford knew this, that's why they're throwing in long balls. They must have thrown in about fucking 20 of them. And every single time you thought, this is going to be a goal. But he did have a few saves. The second goal, the first goal for Maguire's mistake, he should have been out. He should have ran out. His starting position should have been the 18-yard box. But it wasn't. The second goal, he made a save and then he just put it right back onto someone's foot. You can't knock the ball into the middle of the fucking 6-yard box for someone just to run in and tap it in. You just can't do it. This guy is probably one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen. Onana's bad. He shouldn't be a goalkeeper either. We need to give the new guy a... But if we throw the new guy in, he's going to look bad as well because the defence is all over the place most of the time. But anyway, Bayindir, 4 out of 10. Now for de Ligt, he had a really bad game also. I mean, no one had a good game. But he's supposed to be the leader at the back. He's supposed to be our best defender. The one with the experience. The one with the quality. But he looked hesitant. He looked error prone. Brentford's attackers looked sharper, more aggressive, all game long. For a player signed to bring authority and stability, this was a really, really disappointing display. And it's going to be a 3 out of 10 for de Ligt. So Luke Shaw, he wasn't the worst player, but that's about as generous as you can be. He defended reasonably in one-on-one situations, but offered nothing going forward as always. Rarely overlapped the stretch of play. He looked leggy, and someone who's not really match fit, match sharp. I mean, he has been injured for about 17 years, so you can kind of understand why. He didn't directly cause the goals or be at fault for any of the goals, but he didn't prevent danger when it happened. He's very, very, very average. A 4 out of 10 for Luke Shaw. Now for Harry Maguire. Now Man United in this 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1 system, whatever way you want to look at it. A really, really high defensive line, and you cannot start Harry Maguire. You just can't. He does not have the mobility. He can't stand on a halfway line. And it should have been standing on a halfway line, but it fucking wasn't. It was 3-4 yards deep and played someone on for the first goal. He tried to jump out at the last minute. He fell asleep. He lost concentration. He didn't know what he was doing, and he panicked, and he tried to play someone offside on the halfway line, almost. And of course, he fucked it up, and Brentford went on and scored. His lack of mobility was exposed. He was caught badly by Brentford card through for the first goal, and he never recovered his composure after it. It was Maguire from 3 years ago. Potentially he was suspect. Positionally, he was suspect. And in transitions, he's always a step behind. Taken off on the hour mark, which said it all really. He looked like a weak link again, and Brentford exploited it. I don't think he'll start a match for quite a while. 3 out of 10 for Maguire. Now for Patrick Dorgu, who is fast becoming one of Man United's best players. Every week, week in, week out, he actually tries his absolute best. The very minimum you're going to get from this guy is he will run around like a mad dog. He will do things. He will get into duels. And look at the slide I've got on the screen right now. 20 plus duels in a match. Is he fighting for everyone? There's some people on that pitch who have like 2-3 duels in a whole 90 minutes. This guy has 20 plus. Incredible. He shows energy and a willingness to stretch Brentford's shape. He got down the wing, tries to whip in crosses, and physically he stood up to the fight. But once again, the quality wasn't really there. The final ball was poor. He does need to work on his crosses. His crosses isn't great, but he's a young boy. He will get better at that. I mean, remember Gary Neville was a youngster. His crosses were not great. He watched Beckham for a few years and he learned. And by the time he was finished, he could whip in a pretty good cross. So compared to most of his side, he actually turned up and tried. So Dorgo gets a 5 out of 10. Now Delo's playing because Ahmad was away with a family issue, or else he would have probably played. Mazraoui was injured, or he would have probably played. So Delo is really down in the pecking order, and you can see why. He had another one of those games where he just looked lost defensively. Brentford kept getting joy down his flank. He never really dealt with it. Going forward, he offered next to nothing, although there was one brilliant pass which led to a cross into the box, which led to the penalty. It was a lovely little pass, so it was. But he's barely making runs, not really shown for the ball. He looked passive, second to every ball, and honestly, he didn't affect the game in any way whatsoever. It was a poor outing from him. 3 out of 10 for Delo. Now Manuel Ugarte, he's supposed to bring bite to the midfield, but he just looked lost. And I feel sorry for the boy because he is lost. He's trying to cover almost half a football pitch by himself sometimes, because you see Bruno up near the fucking attacking box, and that's fine. That's what Bruno's brilliant at. That's why Bruno should be playing as a number 10, but he's not. He needs to be more defensively sound, Bruno. He can't just leave his teammate to try and cover half of a football field on his own. So I feel sorry for Ugarte. Every time United needed someone to put their foot on the ball or win a battle, it came up short a little bit. He slowed the game down with sideways passes, and when Brentford pressed, he couldn't cope. He never really offered protection to the back line, and in possession, he was a liability. It was a bad day for him. A 3 out of 10 for Ugarte. But the guy needs help. He needs someone next to him that's actually going to fucking help him. Bruno. Now to the captain, Bruno. He had one of those afternoons where nothing went right. The penalty miss summed it up. A long VAR delay, and a silly little weak strike that was easily saved. I mean, I could have done better. You could have done better. We could have all done better. Beyond that, his radar was off, his passing was off, he gave the ball away cheaply, and he never took responsibility. When United needed their captain, when United were under pressure, he kind of just ran away. As a captain, you expect him to lift his side, but instead he disappeared. He was sitting in a crowd somewhere eating a fucking bag of crisps. It was a really, really poor display from Bruno. 3 out of 10. Matthias Cunha at least looked like he wanted to make something happen. He dropped into spaces and he was trying to knit things together, but he was isolated, he was outnumbered, and he never really got support from his teammates. He carried the ball a few times, he ran past people, he was trying to make stuff happen, but there was just no end product. He was running to the box at least once, and the pass was on to Bruno, and he decided to shoot from the edge of the box, from the 18-yard line. He should have probably passed it, but that's the only real sign of a bad decision. He needs his teammates to step up, and he needs help. He couldn't really influence the game in any meaningful way. A 4 out of 10 for Cunha. Now for Mbeumo, the former Brentford player, the star, the show, the 60 million signing. He huffed and puffed on the right-hand side, but there was no real spark. He ran at defenders, tried to make things happen, but his decision-making in this game, it was pretty poor. His end product was pretty poor. He gave the ball away a wee bit. He struggled to combine with his fullbacks or wing-backs. The effort was there, but the quality wasn't. It was a frustrating afternoon. A 4 out of 10 from Mbeumo. Šeško gave United the only bright moment of the afternoon with his first goal for the club. He was okay, he was alert, he was alive to the keeper's mistakes and he tucked it away quite well. But aside from that, he barely had a sniff. He had a few shots, but they were mainly from range, like outside the box type of thing. He was starved of service. He was working off scraps and chasing long balls. You can't fault his effort or finishing, really. He tried his best, but he was completely isolated. Still, scoring earns him top marks compared to the rest. A 5 out of 10. So Brentford 3, Man United 1. It was another miserable afternoon. The performance was poor across the board. The subs offered nothing, and the manager looks out of ideas. Until something changes, this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to set up, and it needs to change quick. We're just going to keep seeing the same thing week after week, the same results, the same bad performances. United are stuck in a cycle, and today was just the latest example. As for Amorim, the pressure is building. You're stuck with the system again, the same people, and you get the same mistakes. No tactical shift, no plan B, and his changes didn't affect the game. The team look like they're going through the motions, and they're not even good motions. He's offering no real answers. Right now, it feels like the system is broken and the manager does not know how to fix it. I like the guy, but I don't know how long he can last. It's starting to become undefensible. You cannot defend the indefensible. I hope he realises this sooner rather than later before he loses his job.